In just 35 years, one man built an empire stretching from the Mediterranean coast to the borders of India. Timur was born in 1336 near the city of Kesh in what is now Uzbekistan, into a minor noble family of Turco-Mongol heritage. He spent his early years as a minor military leader, gradually building alliances and a loyal following through battlefield skill and political calculation. By 1370, Timur had eliminated his rivals and seized control of Samarkand, declaring himself supreme ruler of the Chagatai realm. Ruling as Amir rather than Khan, he launched more than 3 decades of near-continuous military campaigns across Central Asia, Persia, and the Caucasus. He crushed the Golden Horde in the north, campaigned into India in 1398, sacking Delhi, and marched west to capture Isfahan, Baghdad, and Damascus. In 1402, Timur achieved his most famous victory yet, one that would change the fate of an empire still rising in the west. He met the forces of a young and increasingly powerful Ottoman Sultan on the field at Ankara.
Say in a deep, tense documentary narrator voice, dramatic pacing, building toward a pivotal historical turning point. The Ottoman Sultan Bayezid the First had spent years expanding his empire across Anatolia and the Balkans, and had even laid siege to Constantinople itself. But at the Battle of Ankara in 1402, Timur's forces decisively defeated the Ottoman army, and Bayezid was captured alive, a humiliation that shook the Ottoman world to its core. For several years afterward, the Ottoman Empire descended into civil war among Bayezid's sons, and its expansion into Europe was set back by decades. Timur, meanwhile, turned east once more, planning a campaign against Ming China, only to fall ill and die in 1405. His empire fractured among his descendants, though his grandson, Ulugh Beg, would go on to become one of history's greatest astronomers. And generations later, Timur's own bloodline would found the Mughal Empire in India. But the Ottomans recovered, and what followed was one of the most remarkable comebacks in imperial.
Around 1299, a Turkish warlord named Osman I had carved out a small principality in northwestern Anatolia on the crumbling frontier of the Byzantine Empire. Despite the disaster at Ankara, his successors rebuilt Ottoman power within a generation. By 1453, the young Sultan Mehmed II set his sights on Constantinople itself, the ancient capital that had resisted every siege for over 1,000 years. After a 53-day siege, the city fell, ending the Byzantine Empire and announcing the Ottomans as a genuine world power. Mehmed renamed the city Istanbul and made it his new capital. The empire reached its peak under Suleiman the Magnificent, who ruled from 1520 to 1566. Ottoman armies pushed deep into Europe, reaching the gates of Vienna itself, while Ottoman fleets dominated the Mediterranean. At its height, the empire stretched across 3 continents, ruling a vast, diverse population under one sultan. By the late 1600s, the tide began to turn. A failed second siege of Vienna in 1683 marked a turning point, after which Ottoman territory in Europe began to shrink. Over the following 2 centuries, the empire lost war after war to Russia and Austria, and nationalist movements rose within its own borders. European powers began calling it the sick man of Europe. The final blow came with the First World War. The Ottomans allied with Germany, and after a brutal 4 years of fighting, the empire was defeated and occupied. In the chaos that followed, a military officer named Mustafa Kemal, later known as Atatürk, led a nationalist resistance movement. In 1922, the Ottoman Sultanate was formally abolished, and in 1923, the Republic of Turkey was declared, ending over 600 years of Ottoman rule. From a frontier warband in the 1200s to an empire that spanned 3 continents to a modern republic, the story of Turkey spans over 700 years. And along the way, it crossed paths with another great conqueror, whose empire briefly changed its course entirely.